before I get into this, I want to tell you a story. And this story is about a friend of mine whose mom, or mother-in-law rather, was diagnosed with diabetes type 2. And if you've never had diabetes type 2 or someone in your family with diabetes type 2 or heard about it, it's from eating too much white stuff, sugar specifically. And it's almost entirely lifestyle related. It's not genetic. And so she goes into her medical doctor, and her medical doctor told her that she needed to lose weight, 80 pounds to be specific. And he told her that the easiest way to do this would be to take some medications, some weight loss drugs. And so she started. She goes home and starts taking them. And within the first 3 days, she had lost 12 pounds, just falling off of her arms and off of her neck, which she was really excited about. But she was also noticing that her stomach was enlarging, which was concerning to her. So she goes back into him 3 days later. And this time he looks at her and says, well, this is probably just fluid retention from the drug. So take this diuretic on top of the medication you're already taking for the weight loss, and that should do the trick. Okay, she goes home for another 3 days. Now she's down 18 pounds. Again, just completely falling off of her. But her stomach's getting bigger. And now it's starting to become uncomfortable, painful. So she goes back in. And this time, the doctor gives her one look and immediately asks for a transport to the hospital. So they call up the ambulance comes over, picks her up, gets her to the hospital. As soon as she gets there, they rush her back into the emergency room and they stick a ventilator down. And the ventilator gets stuck in a pool of blood. And I'll spare you the rest of the gory details, but what that did is triggered cardiac arrest, which then triggered kidney failure. And within 18 hours, she was pronounced dead in the hospital. And what you're seeing on your screen right now, if you can see it, is her hospital bill for the 18-hour stint she had there, which her 80-year-old husband now has to pay. And if you know anything about insurance, it never works, especially healthcare insurance, it never works out like you think it's going to. They do their best to not have to pay too much. It's a business for them. And I think it's important people understand that. So what's going to happen, or what has been happening in the past 3 years, is her husband, her widower, whatever that's considered, he is now in court cases on a regular basis trying to fight these healthcare bills to get them down. Prior to COVID-19, because I don't know where we're at anymore, prior to COVID-19,